If you want to rise in your career, there are many things that you require. You need to be very good at what you do. Your skills have to be sharp. You have to be a good thinker. You have to have people skills. But one thing which we very often miss is mindset. And today in this video, I'm going to give you 5 or 6 specific things. And if you can do those things in your career, you will have a crazy amount of growth. At my startup HabitStrong, the whole operations team is run by Saranya. And Saranya joined us not in HabitStrong, but many years before that in the role of a data entry operator. But she was not the only person. Many people joined with her, but there was something special in her which made her rise to a level where now she runs practically all of our operations. If you want to rise in your career, there are many things that you require. You need to be very good at what you do. Your skills have to be sharp. You have to be a good thinker. You have to have people skills. But one thing which we very often miss is mindset. And today in this video, I'm going to give you 5 or 6 specific things. And if you can do those things in your career, you will have a crazy amount of growth. What are those things? First is that when you join fresh out of college, early on in your career, what happens? You land in a company maybe as an analyst or in some role, and there your boss or supervisor will tell you exactly what to do. You are given a task, you're told exactly how to go about it, you're even micromanaged, and you realize that I'm young, I'm inexperienced, so I need that guidance, and that's fine. But 6 months later, 1 year later, 2 years later, what happens is you tend to stay in the same mindset. So people keep expecting somebody to come and tell them what to do and how to do it. And that is the number one thing that's going to hold you back. So the first thing I'm going to ask you is that whenever you have the opportunity, not all the time, but whenever possible, don't wait necessarily for people to come and tell you what to do. Look out for opportunities. What are the things that need to be done around you which can help the company, which can help your team, help your boss, help anyone? Go and propose that, hey, this is a task that can be done and I'm happy to do it. Take up some responsibility. It could be something very small. Take up a responsibility and deliver it, make it happen. You'll be amazed that one simple thing will totally change how your team, how your boss, they will start looking at it as a different person. And do this for 6 months, I can assure you, your standing in the company will change. Okay? Very simple idea. Don't wait. Grab the opportunity, take responsibility and deliver no matter how small the task is. Number 2, whenever you see that something is going wrong, you see a problem in the way something is being done at your company, a lot of people just keep quiet. They don't do anything. You should not do that. If you see there is a problem, find a way to articulate or to share it with your boss or supervisor, somebody in the company. But there is one more thing. And this is something that I learned at McKinsey. So there was a presentation going on there and we were showing some PowerPoint slides and I shared like, look, our approach here is not correct. And I laid out the reasons why I thought our approach was wrong. So the senior partner, he asked me, okay, so what you say makes sense. So what do we do instead? And I said, I haven't thought that through. I do not know, but this is a problem. He said, I agree with your problem. But what I want you to do is go and think about what is the answer, what's the solution. So he said quite often what happens is people just flag the problem. They'll say, okay, you know what, this is not where we should be, but then where should we be? Give me the answer. So when you are the leader, when you are heading a company or you're in a senior position, if somebody comes to you, your team member comes to you, and if they give you not just the problem, but also a possible solution, it is such a relief for you and you feel like you can depend on that person. Now, of course, it is not always possible. So I'm not suggesting that you should never flag a problem unless you have a solution, but always try to think about what might be a way to fix it. Even if it's tentative, even if you're not 100% sure, share it at least as a possibility. Again, this is going to strengthen your position in the company. People will look at you as somebody who has leadership potential. Number 3 is whenever something goes wrong, and things will often go wrong, if it has gone wrong because of you or people you're working with, take responsibility. When I was working with a private equity fund, one of the leaders I really respected was a person who would say, very openly, he would say, we made a mistake. We thought that X is the right approach, but looking back, we realized that it was not right. We were wrong. And whenever he said that, it disarmed everyone. Normally, people would try to find fault, or they would say, oh, why did you do this? Why did you do that? They would attack you. But when you say that, okay, you know what? We made a mistake and I take responsibility, it is one of the most powerful leadership traits. The mistake could be yours. It could be somebody in your team. It doesn't matter. Take responsibility. In fact, I have seen always the opposite. Not always, but quite often. In one of my previous startups, there was one guy, very senior guy, very old guy. He was responsible for a lot of activities in the company. And one day when I said something went wrong, when I asked him, like, why did it happen? He said, oh, no, I didn't do anything. I did my part. Moment he said, I did my part, that is the day. And at that point in time, I lost all respect for him because he showed he was not fit for leadership. All right. Number 4, in companies, there is this tendency often to talk about other people, badmouth them, talk about them behind their back. It seems like a good pastime. Sometimes it can sound like fun, but don't do it. When you start doing these things, it shows a petty mindset. So first of all, don't talk about people behind the back. And second, even if people around you are doing it, gently find a way to walk out of the conversation. Don't be part of it. Don't further aggravate it. It shows that you are above pettiness. When you behave with dignity, you'll be surprised. People also start treating you with the same dignity. Number 5, if somebody from even some other team is facing a problem, if you can help, try to help. Now, I'm not saying you should stay late at night at office and even after doing your work, you have to do everybody else's work. No, that's not what I'm saying. But don't have this very narrow approach. Okay, I will do my job, whatever I have to do strictly, everybody else, they're on their own. That does not show team spirit. It does not show leadership quality. So if you offer to help, and even in a small way, you can help somebody else, even if somebody from a totally different team, once again, it changes your social standing. It changes how people think and look at you. And finally, and this is the last thing, but I think very, very powerful. I'll share a story here. US President Harry Truman, he was known to be one of the most decisive leaders America has ever had. One of the most decisive presidents. He was the guy who gave the order for dropping the atomic bomb in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Now, obviously, a lot of people feel it was a wrong decision. He is vilified by a lot of people, but the fact is, it was a very hard decision. This guy, Harry Truman, had one special quality. He would not pass on the responsibility or refuse to take responsibility. In fact, in the White House Oval Office, which is where the president sits, he used to have a wooden board which said, the buck stops here, which means the final responsibility is his. He is not going to pass it to anybody else. That is the ultimate leadership quality. When you are leading a team, no matter it's a team of 2 people or 10 people, or maybe it's just your own personal work, even as an individual contributor, in your mind, remind yourself, the buck stops here. So as an example, I am the CEO of HabitStrong. If something goes wrong at HabitStrong, whose responsibility is it? It's my responsibility. I cannot say, oh, that person did not do this thing right, that guy forgot to send the email. No, it's always my responsibility. And of course, as a CEO, the buck stops here at my desk. So these are the 6 things that I wanted to share with you. And whenever you get an opportunity in your company, try to keep this in mind and demonstrate that you have that mindset of a leader. And when you demonstrate that mindset, people will start acknowledging and respecting you. And that is how you will start rising in your career rapidly. Thank you for watching.